I'm 62 years old, and many times I ask myself why I continue doing this. I cannot afford not to work at the moment. So I think one of the benefits of continuing to work, being engaged productively, is aside from being economically productive, is being able to be mentally and psychologically healthy. I'm currently in my office right now here in Makati. I'm 62 years old, and many times I ask myself why I continue doing this. Part of it is I really don't have any choice. The economy is bad, I think, not just in the Philippines, but worldwide. I cannot afford not to work at the moment. It doesn't, part of it is also I'm raising a 12-year-old son, and it's going to take a long time before he finishes his education, and I need to make sure that I'm able to secure his future. And because of my age, I also need to keep earning so that when I retire, I'm going to be very comfortable with what I'm going to save. But part of it, I think, is also because I've read studies where people who retire, particularly men, have a decline in their mental and physical well being because they find themselves not busy enough or not doing anything. While working is something that I need to do because I need to do so economically, working also is something that makes me feel continue to be productive, engages my mind and my body. So sometimes I'm caught in a dilemma. I feel that I'm I have too there are too many balls up in the air balancing, and there's a part of me that also says, when will I ever slow down so that I can enjoy myself a little bit more? I really don't know the answer to that particular question because many times I'm just simply too busy doing all the things I need to do. So I don't know. Part of the reason on why I have decided to do this particular podcast is I want to share with you my own dilemmas, my own questions about how to go about this. And maybe those of you who are listening to me are in a similar situation. We are already at the age where in previous generations, by the time our parents turned 60, they would have retired. Very few of them actually continued to work beyond that age. But for us in this generation and the succeeding ones, because of various reasons, both the external environment and our own pursuit of what we think is a meaningful life, we continue to work. Does it have a cost? I think so. Because rather than spend the years after 60 enjoying ourselves in our time, we continue to work. But it also has a certain level of benefit. We continue to be productive in our later years, something that those who have retired fully are not able to do anymore. So again, I don't know the answer to these questions. I have read some articles that say that being mentally preoccupied and alert can be a reason for delaying mental retardation like dementia and Alzheimer. So I think one of the benefits of continuing to work, being engaged productively, is aside from being economically productive, is being able to be mentally and psychologically healthy as well. But I think and then I've read papers and researches that say that more and more of the elderly are actually working, whether full time and part time. This has implications to the overall workforce arrangements in the Philippines and in other countries. If, for whatever reason, more and more of the elderly continue to work, what does it mean to our labor force? What does it mean to our companies? and to the workplace, these are some things I think that we need to continue to discuss and to work on. Before we continue with this episode, in case you want to talk to us or talk to people like you, please send us a message or send us an email in the different platforms that will be flashed to you after this. Now we will continue with the episode.
We will be continuing with our 6 questions, random for you. So, question number one, what motivates you most to come to work?
It's really being able to say to myself that I'm still working to secure myself and my family financially. And it's also because I found a job, I found the kind of work that I find really, really interesting, really engages me at different levels of myself. So it's not just to be able to earn a living, but it's also being able to feel that I'm part of something bigger than myself.
Question number two, what was your first job?
My first job, I think if I remember right, it was a technical staff to a government position. I don't remember anymore what kind of work I was doing then.
How would you describe or how did you describe your work or your job to your son?
When he asks me, I say I teach and I help people understand certain things about how organizations work.
Question number four, who has influenced you most when it comes to your work ethics?
I've been lucky enough to have met many mentors when I was working, and we really didn't talk about these things. It was really being able to observe how they work and the kind of passion and commitment they put in the work that they do. I think that has already shaped me in terms of my own attitude about work. That you need to be able to say to yourself that it's not just for the money. It is something that you love to do. It's something that you like to do. But of course, there are many people who are not as lucky as I am to have found something that they do at work that they love. Many of us work because we just need to earn a living. But regardless of whatever reason, I think we need to be able to find meaning, whether it's extraneous to the actual work that we do or that the work that we do actually gives meaning to our lives.
Question number five, would you rather live close to work or would you rather live close to work or work at home?
I think given the pandemic and the traffic, I think more and more options should be provided to be able to work from home. I think the amount of technology advancement that we have achieved allows us to do more productive work at home without the hassle of traveling and dealing with the traffic. But at the same time, there are advantages of going to the office, most of which is related to social interaction. And there are benefits to meeting face to face that can get lost if everything is done online. So I think it really depends on the context and the reason for going to work in the office or staying home. It cannot be just, well, because we need you to be in the office and that's the only reason. There has to be a reason on why people are asked to go to the office.
Last question, what's the most important thing about your job?
As I said, I think the two things. It does provide me and people like myself with the kind of financial security that we need, especially as we enter into our retirement years. And the second is that it does give us a sense of purpose and meaning because we feel that we are part of a bigger purpose. This particular episode is going to be the theme of what we will be doing in between season 2 and season 3. You will see me talking to you directly, tackling questions that are in my mind, just me and you talking to each other as we prepare and plan the episodes for season 3. If you have comments or suggestions for topics that you want us to cover for season 3, please put your comments and your suggestions in the comment section. So this is Louie Montalbo, diving into the mysteries of the later years. Thank you for watching Senior Moments with Louie Montalbo. If you are watching us on YouTube or listening to us on that particular platform, please subscribe, like, and comment us on these platforms. But if you are watching or listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please like or give us a rating of 5. This is going to help us with our advocacy. Thank you very much. Next on Senior Moments with Louie Montalbo.